Welcome to All India Juva Computer Saksharata Mission, a complete online education system. In this class, welcome to the another new session on Python learning, online Python learning. In this class, we will discuss about function in Python. So, what is function? If a group of statement is repeatedly required, then it is not recommended to write this statement every time separately. We have to define that this statement as a single unit, and we can call that unit any number of times based on our requirement. So, without rewriting this, so this unit is nothing but a function. So, if you want to execute some sort of line repeatedly, then you need not write it several times. If you want to write it, you can write it within a single unit and call it repeatedly. This is how, if you use this unit is known as a function. It reduces the readability, it reduces the code usability, it reduces the code actually. So, in Python there are two type of function. One is built-in function and second one is user defined function. Built-in function are those function which are coming along with the Python software automatically, are called built-in function or predefined functions like id, print, type, input, evolve, etc. This function, we will discuss this function in earlier classes. We know what are the functionality of those functions. So, if a function which are coming along with Python software automatically, if you install Python on your machine, then it will execute automatically. You do not need to write the code for that, these functions. So, this type of function is known as built-in function. And another one is user defined function. User defined function means the function which are developed by the programmer explicitly according to their requirement are called user defined function. Now, we know what is function. If a group of statement is repeatedly required, then it is not recommended to write the statement every time separately. We have to define this statement as a single unit and we can call that unit any number of time based on our requirement without rewriting this. This unit, this type of unit is known as function. It helps us for code reusability. With the help of those functions, we can reuse the code again and again. Okay. So, reduce the length of the code and we can use the same code again and again. There are two type of functions, one is built-in and another one is user defined. So, now I have to write a function. If you want to write a function, a user defined function in Python, then one keyword you have to use, that is def. Every time you want to declare right now I want to print hello world with the help of a function. How can I write it? Just take as def. This is the keyword which we use every time we declared a function, every time we declare a user defined function. This is a function name is hello. Okay. This is the syntax. This is a function name. This is actually def is a keyword. You have to use it before the function, and this is the name of the function. This is actually the name of the function. The name of the function is hello, and this is parenthesis. This is, in this case, we have a empty parenthesis. We can pass argument from there. We know this. We pass argument for get function. We pass argument for some predefined function. Now, here there is no parenthesis within there. This is an empty parenthesis function. Now, this is the body of the function, body which we want to execute. hello world. I want to execute this code. This is the body. If I write more code, we can write it in this, within this body. This is actually the indentation. This indentation gives us the indication that this one is the body of the function. We don't use braces and other things in Python program. So indentation actually indicates the body of any iterations or any functions. Now after declaring a function, we have to call the function. Hello, the name of the function is hello, I have to call it. If I want to run it 3 times, then I have to call the hello function 3 times. We don't need to write the body. Here is single line body, so we don't understand that how much code they reuse. But if there is 12, 13 or thousands lines, then only you can write the name of the function. It will execute this thousandth line. So it is one of the example of code reusability. Now if you save the function, this hello world will print 3 times in the console. You have to save it. Okay. fun1.py, that means function1.py. This is the example. Open the command prompt and run it from there. Cd desktop. Now py, goes to Python, cd python. Now py fun.py. fun1, sorry, the name of the function is fun1 might be. So this line will execute thrice. If you print some other lines, if you want to print some other line, you can write it in the body. This line will execute thrice because we call this function 3 times. Okay, that's it. This is how we can write our own function, user defined function. This function is known as user defined function. Now I have to write another function to execute another example. So if I want to write something on the parameter of the function, I want to write a function to take name of the student as input and print wish message by this for this name. Okay, if I want to write a function which will take a name and print a wish message, this is the declaration of the function. This is the name of the function, and I have to pass a parameter. This is a parameterized function. I have to pass a parameter within this. This is a parameter. The earlier function is a non-parameterized function. Now I pass a parameter in this function. I have to print, this is the body, I have to print hello. Now the variable which I have to pass good morning. This is the function that I have to pass, and now I have to call the function. This is a calling, this is the declaration of a function, this is the name of the function, this is actually the function definition, and now I am calling. I have to call this function as wish, and when I call this function, I have to pass a parameter. This parameter is a string type of parameter. I have to pass the parameter. If I doesn't pass this parameter, it will show you an error. So I have to pass AIYCSM, the name of our company. Okay, if I pass it again, if I pass Shayok, you will see 2 different type of outputs. You will save it, fun2.py. Now run it from the command prompt. You will see, you will get 2 different type of output. Hello AIYCSM, good morning. Then hello Shayok, good morning. These are the 2 outputs that we have, because we called this function twice, and when we call this function we will pass two different type of parameters for this two function. So, it will give you two different type of output. So, if a group of statement is repeatedly required, this is the group of the statement. I have to pass other lines too. This is the group of a statement. We need it repeatedly. Then we should, this unit, this type of unit is known as function. Okay. You should understand little bit what is the type of a function. Now, I have to take another example. It will clear your concept little bit. Now, this is another example. Now, I have to write a function to take a number as input and print the square value. Okay. This is the keyword you have to mention every time when you declare a function. Without this keyword, it will not create any function. Square it, this is the name of the function, square it, or do not give this name, square. Now, I have to pass a num. This is actually a parameter. I have to pass a num. Square is a keyword, square 1 and then num. This is the name of the function. Okay. Now, I have to print the square of the square of number is number num into num. This is not number, this is num. So, this is num into num. Okay. So, now I have to call the function, name of the function square 1. I have to pass a parameter. I have to pass the parameter. This parameter is integer type parameter. Then I have to pass another parameter. This time I have to pass a value as 5. If I save this, and run this fun3.py, you will see that the square of 4 is 16 and square of 5 is, first time it will take 4 as an argument. Always start from this 4 will stored into this number. This 4, because of that this is a parameterized function, this 4 will stored into the num, then it calculate the num into num and print it on a output. So, the function starts from there. When you call the function, this function passes this value to num and then it is calculated and printed onto the screen. When you pass again another function, then the body is called again and passes stored this 5 as on the number, then calculated it and print 25 on the screen. So, this is how we can passes the value and we can calculate it. Now, I have to declare a function which have a return type. If you want to create a function which should return a value, how can you declare this type of function? The function with return type, the function with argument and return type, the function with argument and with return type. I declare a function and I pass two integer type of variable. From there, this is known as formal parameter. These are known as formal parameters. Okay. And after that one, I have to declare the body. This is the body. This element, this value is returned from this function, the addition of x plus y. But we right now we are not producing any value for x and y. Now, result add of 10 and 20. So this value passes by this 10 stored into x, this 20 stored into y. Then they calculate x plus y and return this value. This value return and stored in this result variable. Now in this result variable, when we call the function, we are storing the resultant value into another variable. If you are call this function without storing this value into a variable, then this return value will not store into another variable. There is a process. Now if you want to print, you can print the result, the sum is equals to, then the result. I can print it like this. I will show you another process, fun4.py, and if you run it from the command prompt, you will see the output sum is equals to 30. There is another process. Without storing this into a variable, you print it directly. You can print it directly. You can copy this one, cut this, and without printing this, you can print it directly. We are passing this variable and print it directly. Calling this add function from this print function, and it will return the value and print it into the output. You can save this, it will reduce your code and run it, you will see the same answer on that. So in this case, we are not using any extra variable. You can reduce the code. Okay, this is how you can reduce the code. We can do different type of program with the help of this one. Okay, now I want to declare another function. Now I gives you another example. Okay, what is the example? I have to write a function to check whether the given number is even or odd. I have to write a function and check whether the given number is even number or odd number. With the help of function, to check a number is even or odd. A number is even number or odd number. Okay. Now I have to declare a function. Name is odd and even. You can use underscore in a function. Now I have to take a number. Okay, I have to pass a number. When you call the function, you have to pass a number. Now number modulo 2 double equals to 0. That means the number you are given, it is a even number. Actually, this is the meaning of that. So print this number as a even number. Now else, if it is not happen, then else print number is odd number. The value that you are given, it is a odd number. This is a even number, this is a odd number. Now this function body is ended. Now you have to call this function odd even. Now I pass 10. Now I have passed 15. Save this. When you pass 10, 10 will be stored on num and it will divide it by 2. The remainder is equals to 0. So it's print it is an even number. And when you pass 15, 15 will store on num, and then this condition is false. So it executed the else part. This is how they can execute. You can save this function. Save it. Fun5 and executed it from command prompt. This is fun5 actually. Run it. 10 is even number, 15 is odd number. With the help of the function, we can able to establish our logic. Now we have to write some other program too. We have to clear the idea of function. Function is very important. If I write a function to find the factorial of a given number, how can you create that? I want to print the factorial with the help of function, with factorial. I have to calculate factorial with the help of a function. I have to create a function fact. Now I have to pass a number. Okay. Now declare some variable where I initialize this variable as 1. Now within this function I have to create a while loop. See what I want to do. Num greater than equals to 1. If num greater than is equal to 1, as long num greater than equals to 1, it's equals to 1 or greater than 1, as long as this it will continue his body. Result will be result into num. The value of result into num will be stored into result. Now num decreases, num equals to num minus 1, it reduces to 1. End this while loop and return this value as res. Now this is the end of the function. Okay. Now I have to call, if I want to print a range of factorials, range of numbers in factorial, so then I have to use another for loop, I in range of 1 to 5. I want to print 1 to 5. Now I print the factorial of I is, now I have to print the fact function. I have to call the fact function, the fact of I. The I value, first I value is 1. So 1 will be stored and 1 is passed to this number. So result is 1, num equals to 1, 1 is greater than equals to 1, so while loop is true. So result into num, that means 1 into 1, result will be, the result is 1. Num less than num equals to num minus 1, now num becomes 0. If num becomes 0, this loop will not be executed again. It will return the result. Result is 1. So this result will be returned and this result is printed from this for loop. So the output of this is 1. Then it passes 2. The 2 is greater than or equals to 1. So 2 into 1, that means 2 into 1s equals to 2. So again it reduces, again the num reduces, and 2 into 1 it's also became 1. First 2 into 1, then 1 into 1. So that means result is now 2. So again the 2 will be printed. Then 3 is stored into the number. So 3 into num, 3 into 1, that means 1. Then 3 into 2 into 1, that means 6. So when I became 3, it provided 6 as factorial. So if you run this one, fun6.py, if you run this one from command prompt, you will see the series of factorial number of 1 to 5. num6, this is a good program. num6, you will see factorial of 1 is 1, factorial of 2 is 2, factorial of 3 is 6, factorial of 4 is 24. If you passes 1 to 6, then you see factorial of 5 2. The factorial of 5 here, the factorial of 5 is 120. We will practice it by your own and understand what I want to explain with the help of this program, with the help of this function. So this is how we can create our own function in Python. There are 4 types of argument for Python function. The first one is known as positional argument, keyword argument, default argument, variable argument. Right now we are not discussing about that one. Now we have to discuss one very important thing, that is actually lambda function. We have to declare a lambda function to declare our what is lambda function and how can we create lambda function. So if you want to declare anonymous function, sometimes we can declare a function without any name. Sometimes there are some example in Python, sometimes you use some function which have no name. Sometimes we can declare a function without any names. Such type of nameless function are called anonymous function or lambda function. The main purpose of anonymous function is just for use it instantly or for use it one time. We use this lambda function. Lambda is a very important concept. We will use so many time. Now we discuss about lambda function little bit. What is lambda function? PDA, lambda function. It is an anonymous function, nameless function, the function which have no name. Okay. Now write a program to create a lambda function to find the square of given number. Find the square of given number. This is how we can implement lambda function. Lambda n colon n into n. So this function, this lambda functions have this body. It returns the square of a number n, the value that has been passed when we call this function. When we call this s, you can pass the value for n. This n into n will return and print it. Now see it, print the square of 4 or square of 3 is s of 3. Okay. It provided this 3 is stored into n and then it stored in this n, 3 into 3, 3 into 3, 9. 9 will then store into this n and then it stored in there, from there. So within the help of this lambda function we can create this. I have to copy it. Square of 5 plus 5, square of, if I want to print a square of all number between 1 to 10, square of all numbers between 1 to 10, then what will be the process? You will see it reduces the code, it also reduces the code very much. For if you want to run several items, then you have to use a for loop, range 1 2, because of that it is 1 to 10, 1 to 11. Okay. Now you have to write the code. I have to use the replacement operator here. The sum, the square of, this is one replacement operator, is colon this one. So I have to use format for this one. First one for I, the value, and second one is s of I. This I value replace this one. So first I value is 1 and this s of I means s of 1. S of 1 means this one, this I value stored into this n calculate this value and store it into S. So, this value will be printed. Okay. Now, it became 2, 3, 4. So, all the value between 1 to 10, it produces the square for this, all these numbers. So, we have to put another bracket. If you run this one, fun7.py, you will see the output. You will see the output. The square of 3 is 9, square of 5 is 25. The square of all numbers between 1 to 10 is, square of 1 is 1, 2 is 4, 3 is 9, 4 is 16, 5 is 25, 6 is 36, 7 is 49, 8 is 64, 9 is 99, 90, 81, 10 is 100. How beautiful is this? With the help of this lambda function, we can execute several things. We can execute several things with the help of this lambda function. Okay. Here is another example of the lambda function. Lambda, this function is an anonymous function which does not have any name. Now, with the help of lambda function, we have to find the sum of two given number. S is lambda, because this is a keyword, it highlighted as blue. A and B, these are the two numbers which will store A plus B. Actually, this logic will be executed by this lambda function and it will take two parameters. Okay. With the help of these two parameters, it will create this logic. It will execute this logic. Okay. Now, I have to print the sum of 10, 20 is S of 10 and 20. That's it. That's it. Now, print the sum of 100, 200 is, this is actually the string that has printed, and this is the actual parameter. This is the actual parameter 100 and 200. Okay, that's it. If you save this one, fun8.py, and run it from the command prompt, you will see the output. Invalid syntax. Oh, A plus B is deleted. Why? Somehow the logic has been deleted. You will see that the sum of 10 and 20 is 30 and sum of 100 and 200 is 300. So, this is how, with the help of lambda function, the lambda, this is the calling and this is the definition, but the lambda function is known as anonymous function. It's created to use it once. We are not here with the help of lambda function, we are not using it many times. If there is a criteria to use a function, if you want to use it once, then always go for lambda function. The final example I have to give for this lambda function, that is with the help of lambda function, if you want to find the biggest of given values. So, I have to declare S and then this lambda function. These are the two parameters that this lambda function has taken. Now, the logic is A, if A greater than B, else, that means if A greater than B, the A will be the biggest number, else B. How beautiful this logic is. We can create this within a single line. These two are the parameter, and now A and B are the parameter, and Actually a and b is the parameter. Now I have to check if this is the answer will be a if a is greater than b, else b will be the answer. And what will be the output? Print the biggest number or the largest number biggest number of and 20. I have to pass these two number is ace of 10 comma 20. Biggest number among 100 and 200 is just 100, 200. Save it. fun9.py and run it from the command prompt. You will see the output. The biggest number is 20. In this you can calculate the smallest number 2. So that's it. I think you have a little bit of idea about lambda function. There are a lot of things in function. There are different type of functions, but in this course we will discuss as much as you know right now. We don't want to discuss more than that. So we don't have more than that time. So this is how we can use functions in Python. There are different type of filter function, map function, reduce function. If you want to learn this one, you have to join our another course where we discuss it in details in advanced Python course. So that's it. That is all about function. I think we have a little bit of idea what function is, when we use function, and different type of facilities of function. Okay, thank you for watching our video. In the next video we will discuss about module, and with that we will finish our core Python course. Thank you.